I'm going to explain a little bit about some angle relationships. So when we're talking about angle relationships, we're talking about these main angles. And the first one are the adjacent angles. So adjacent angles, they are basically they're basically two angles that share a vertex. So what I have here is I have this whole thing where I have A, B, and C, and D. So we have one angle, and that first angle is ABC. That ABC is adjacent to CBD. And they're adjacent because both angles share the vertex of B. And by the way, we can see the name in the name of the angle itself is B. That is the vertex. The vertex is known as like the elbow of the angle right there. So the fact that they both have B for the vertex will help us see that these two are adjacent angles. By the way, I see three angles. I see a smaller one here, another small one here, and then a really large one here. Just for visual here. The next one are complementary angles. These are very common. Complementary angles are two angles with a sum of 90 degrees. So an example of complementary angles, I'll draw here, where maybe I'll do it in red. So complementary, I would start with a 90-degree angle, something like this there. I know that this is 90 degrees. And if I simply split it down here, something like this, I have complementary angles, where one of the angles is right here. Here's one of the angles, and here's the other, because together, from one side it goes from here all the way to here, and that is a full 90 degrees. Now, this isn't the only thing. They don't have to be adjacent, meaning they don't have to share the same vertex. You can have two angles that look like this. You can have one that's like this, something like this, and you can have the other one kind of looking like this here and going like this, and this would also be an example of complementary angles. They don't have to share the vertex. Okay, so similarly, and for some way, is we have supplementary angles. So supplementary angles here, they are two angles with a sum of 180 degrees. So to help you visualize that, I'll draw supplementary angles. Supplementary angles, I always start with a straight line because a straight line is 180 degrees. And here I might split them up something like this. And here are a pair of supplementary angles. So we have one angle here and the other angle here. And together they form a straight line because one starts here and then the other one continues the rest of the straight line. Now, like complementary angles, the supplementary angles, I could have something like this. And then I could have another angle that would be like this, something like that, with the goal that I'm trying to make a straight line. Oops, sorry about that. I'm with the goal that I'm trying to make a straight line right here. But I'm also trying to make the point that these are two angles with different vertices. It's separate. They don't have to be adjacent. These are adjacent here. They share the vertex, but these are not. And yet they are, yes, still supplementary. And then finally, I have, and then I have this note here where it says complementary and supplementary angles do not have to be adjacent. Finally, I have the last kind of angle, which is a linear pair. They are two adjacent angles with a sum of 180 degrees. So I made this right here, and I have this information here that says angles ABD, so ABD, so that would be this angle here. So ABD right there form a linear, and ABC, which is that angle there, they form a linear pair because together, right here, this side, this angle here shares a vertex, and with that one, and they make a straight line, which is 180 degrees. So there are the angle relationships.